another episode of the Artist Loft. Man, I'm back, getting back in the groove, trying to get this thing popping. Today, once again, I got another dope creator on, man. We're gonna talk about some things. This brother is really dope. I've been following him for a while now. And I don't know if he remembers though. I actually won this little light from him I think a couple years ago. So yo, it's gonna be a dope conversation, man. So y'all, let's welcome the homie Mielz. Uh oh, let me bring him in. There we go. Yo,
Yo,
what's
what's good?
good? What's
What's good
popping?
with it, man? Nothing too much, man. Just working, grinding as always, man.
Yo, you remember the light though?
I do remember that. Yeah, I
Okay.
remember that. I almost forgot, but yeah, I remember I did a little.
Yeah,
Was it a little giveaway?
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool
Yo,
for
I'm
sure.
telling you, this thing, it's got to be the toughest light in the world. I have
Fire.
I have kicked it, dropped it in water, and it's bruh, it's I think the only thing I messed up was the switch, but it's
Mm.
still
Okay, you still use it on a
it's
regular though.
on a regular
Fire.
basis.
Yes, it's
Like
always good to
for
have one of
real,
those in
for
the
real.
bag. You know what I'm saying? You never know when it'll come handy.
Absolutely. So man, I appreciate you coming on. Just so we can talk for a
For sure.
minute. But go ahead, man. Tell the people about yourself, man. Let them know what you do.
I do a little bit of everything, but what you know me from is YouTube. I do filmmaking content, vlog a little bit, reviews on camera gear. Um, yeah, but I also do music and stuff like that as well. But on the YouTube, that's primarily what I do.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So yeah, I know you do
Mhm.
music. I didn't heard the music before. It's
Appreciate
dope.
it.
Uh so how did you get into the filmmaking aspect of it?
It actually go hand in hand with the music because back when I was making music heavy, what I'm saying, I wanted music videos for the music, and I didn't want to have to pay somebody, what I'm saying, to create it for me when I know I could learn it and do it myself, right? So um, that's essentially what I did. I was on YouTube and looked up tutorials. And a big shout out to YC Imaging because that's like where I learned most of everything from, YC
Yes,
Images.
sir.
So I was watching a whole bunch of videos on that. Then I started getting into it, and then people started hitting me up from seeing my videos, and they want me to shoot their music videos, and then it was just a cycle from there.
That's what's
Yeah,
up. That's what's up. I've talked to a few people and a lot of them got started in
yeah,
music
facts.
and just like you, just didn't feel like paying nobody for the music videos. So,
Yeah. That because that
so
add up. You know what I'm saying? And I respect the hustle. You know what I'm saying? But it's it didn't make sense for me to be doing that when I could learn it. You know what I'm saying, for myself. So
yo, that's pretty dope. I know filming yourself though is
right.
difficult. Um, so did you have help or was it strictly by
No.
yourself?
Always help from the homies who really, I mean,
Okay.
at the time they didn't know anything about cameras. So it's really me just putting the camera in their hands, setting up the settings myself, telling them, all right, just do this for me. Then I duplicate the moves that I tell them to do. And then obviously I do all the editing. But yeah, they didn't
Right.
know anything about it. But I mean, they probably learned from doing it with me so much.
That's what's up. So, question, and I ask everybody who comes on this
Mhm.
question. When you hear the word art, what does that mean to you?
I feel like there's no like real definition for it. It's really like for us, like whatever we create can be art. You know what I'm saying? So whether it's I mean, for me, I like doing short films, so I did a video recently where it was really just random stuff I'm doing throughout the house. You know what I'm saying? But that's art in itself, because I took the
Hmm.
time to create it. You know what I'm saying? So
Definitely.
for us, that's what that could be. But no matter what field you in, I feel like it's an art form. Um, so
Absolutely.
if it can't be
Absolutely.
duplicated, it's an art form. So
Right. Right. I
yeah,
feel you. So you said you do short. I haven't seen any
Oh
short
yeah,
films.
there's a few short films I did on YouTube, but recently there was one that was kind of like a short film, but it was really just like capturing what I do on a daily basis. But I've done a few where I had like planned it out, a treatment, and did all
Uh-huh.
that. Yeah.
That's kind of more what I'm
Mhm.
into. The short film aspect. I got into doing music videos just because I had a
Mhm.
camera. Um, but honestly, I can't stand them.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
I already know.
it's and
I
it's
already know.
and it's just and it's because most of the time, you know how it is. The artist has a bigger idea than their
Yeah.
budget. You know what I'm saying? And you end up trying to work with these smaller budgets, but they want a Little Wayne video, and you know
Yeah,
what I'm
facts.
saying? And so it's yeah. So I got into doing short films and stuff, which is really why I started the whole
Mhm.
deal. Photography first, of course, because we got cameras, but then got into sort of the narrative
Mhm.
work. Um, but I also saw a video, if I'm not mistaken, and I don't know if the young lady is your girlfriend or your wife, but she's a painter.
Oh, at the time, yeah, she was my girl at the time, not no more.
Oh, okay, okay, that's
Yeah,
old
that's
news.
that's
Okay,
that was a while
okay,
ago.
okay. Yeah, that's been a
Mhm.
minute, but I remember because my fiance
Okay, fine.
paints.
Yeah, I remember you
and
commented
and
that. Now that I think about it, yeah, I do
yeah,
remember that. Mhm.
yeah, she paints, and so that's what I was wondering. Okay, so that's ended.
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
got
That
you.
was that was last year. I like her art though.
Last year.
I really
Okay,
like her art. Yeah.
okay. So you're in
Yeah.
Vegas, right? What's the climate like for creators in Vegas? Like, is it watered down or is it open season?
Um, I feel like recently it's been a lot, like an influx of creators, which is good, you know. So uh, I mean, I wouldn't say necessarily everybody is like I don't want to say like not good. Like they're good. You know what I'm saying? Just
Right.
some are
I
more
got
my
you.
cup of tea than others. Uh,
Right. Right.
but I mean, I always respect that people are picking up the camera and trying to create something. Um, as long as they do it for the right reasons, you know what I'm saying? I don't have no problem with it. So
Right. And it's a lot easier nowadays because every camera that comes out is
yeah,
good.
so it's no longer about the gear you have essentially. Um, just
Right.
if you have the eye and what you can do with it. So
It's crazy. Um, I had commented on a video you did, and you replied, and you said this term, um, and you used the words creating
mhm.
freely. And I know this because yourself and YC Imaging and Food Line Creative and a lot of other creators that I watch, it's like we're all going through the same
Yeah.
thing. You know what I'm saying? And when you said that was those words, I started thinking like we don't really get the opportunity to do that.
Yeah. We don't, not enough at least. Yeah.
Right. And if you think about it, most of it we started for that reason,
Mhm.
right? Like that's why we wanted to do this. But even if it's not YouTube videos, then most of us got clients we got to cater
Yeah.
to, or something like that. So we don't get the opportunity to just create
Mhm.
freely. And like those of you who are monetized on YouTube, even when you do a YouTube video, a lot of times it's a sponsored video or a brand video that you got to put out. And it's like, yo, where's the
Yeah.
freedom
Yeah. 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 It's
in the creativity? You know what I'm
100%.
saying? And I thought that was an interesting statement because a light bulb kind of went off in my head. Like, yo, that's it.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah. It's
problem.
just like, I mean, recently I shoot a lot for companies. Um, and then, in the midst of that, I'm trying to also put content out on YouTube. But then I feel like I need to put a certain type of content out because that's what's going to get the views or get more views than just some random stuff that I want to do. So then finding time in between that to just create, like, just for fun and not have any expectations, uh,
Right.
it's like it's not enough time for that. And then also
Right.
just having the motivation to do it, because I'm just like, I'm very picky with what I put out and what I want to put out. But recently I'm trying to get better. Like I put a video out today, which when I was editing it, I was less strict with what I maybe would have cut out like before. And I
Mm-hmm.
think in the grand scheme of things, it made for a better video. And I feel like the
Right.
viewers can see more of my personality in this video, which is something I always want as well. I feel like I'm almost robotic sometimes in my videos, because I mean, I'll write a script and I follow it like not to a T, but it's not
Right. Right. I
it's
got.
not just showing like me, you know what I'm saying? So I made it a point in this video to not be strict in the editing and keep certain things in there. So yeah, right now I'm trying to just put out like videos that I enjoy essentially. So
Right.
yeah.
But brother, I suffer from the same thing,
Mhm.
man. I've got hard drives full of content that'll probably never see the light
Yeah.
of day. Just because I don't like the way it
Mhm.
looks. And I noticed, and it comes from consuming so much
Yeah.
content. So, I'll do a video and then I'll turn on people I watch. I'll see a video you dropped or YC or Creative Ryan or somebody, and like, nah, man, I can't put this out. Like, nah, you know what I'm saying? Like, it don't look
Yeah.
right. I can't do
Yeah.
this. And so I don't know if you know Shot by Kirk.
I've heard of him, but
Um,
I'm not familiar with his content though.
I I had him on the show I dropped it this past Friday. And what me and him were talking about was, and I was supposed to start today, which I didn't, but just doing a vlog, not worrying about, just no plan, no nothing, just cutting on the camera or even grabbing my
Mhm.
phone and just vlogging and uploading
Yeah.
it. Like not worrying about, you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Trying to psych myself out of the perfection
Yeah.
mind state. And like I said, I was supposed to start it today. I didn't do it.
Procrastination gonna get us every time, you know what I'm saying? But there's always tomorrow. So that's the goal though, just to freely vlog, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Just
Yeah,
not be so focused on the content, because the content gonna come if you recording, if you holding the camera. You know what I'm saying? So
right,
that's the
right.
goal. But
And I think like you, I watched, well, I still do. I watched
yeah.
YC a lot. And I went back to some of his earlier stuff, and man, just watching him just vlog about absolutely
Mhm.
nothing. Like, no,
Exactly.
just
And we
you know what I'm
watch it
saying?
and enjoy it. You know, we're just overly critical of our own work. Um, and that's something that we just got to recognize and make the adjustments.
So I saw the video today. You went to what was it called?
Cine
Senate
Gear
Gear?
Expo, yeah, yeah,
Yo, I don't know. I would have been on overload
yeah.
out there. Just watching the video, man. It would seem like it's a lot of stuff. That's why I never went to the NAB
Oh, I want
either.
to go though, for
Um,
sure.
man, I would lose my mind. It's just because with me, I'm gonna be looking at all this stuff like, okay, I gotta have this, I gotta get that, I gotta get my
I
hands
feel
on
it.
this. I got,
But at the same time, I don't think everything was for sale there. I feel like it was just like showing it off. So it's not like
right,
you're gonna be
right.
too tempted to buy something, because I don't think you can. But there's certain things that's for sale, but I feel like it was just more so to experience, yeah,
Showing off.
and see those things. But yeah, it's a lot of gear, and I only went for a day. I was there for a few hours, and then I drove right back because I was in Cali. But this
Right.
was going on for like 3 or 4 days, so I would have stayed. Like if I had everything set up, it just would have been an inconvenience. So
So what did you think about some? Was there a lot of different cameras out there?
like for show, I didn't see too much.
Yeah.
I seen a lot of lenses and like it was like cranes and gimbals and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I did try.
Okay.
I think it's called Irix lenses, which actually, when I was looked it
Yeah.
up, it wasn't that expensive. But I think they're manual. I could be wrong. I think they're manual focus lenses, like cinema
Yeah.
lenses, though. But in the vlog, there's a couple of shots where I put it on the R5C, and they look really good, though. So yeah, I definitely want to, like, any camera I buy now is not going to be a DSLR though, because I feel like at this time, you got to get the stick with the cinema cameras for now. So that was good to
Bruh.
experience though.
I shoot with a Blackmagic
Mm.
4K. And let me tell you something. I didn't had my fill of cinema
Mm.
cameras. See, I'm trying to go and get a mirrorless. And it's because I got the Blackmagic because, like I said, I was doing a lot of narrative work, short films and commercials and things like that, and it's great for
Mm.
that. But I started doing a bunch of events, and even like with the music videos, a more run and gun type setup would be better. Like this thing just isn't easy to get on a
Yeah.
gimbal because of how it's shaped. It's and I use cinema lenses, which is fine, but honestly, because I bought a Canon RP
Mm.
too, to just kind of have as a backup and for
Yeah.
photography. Dude, when that autofocus starts hitting, you get
Oh,
spoiled.
for sure. For sure.
You know?
Autofocus is a blessing though. Yeah.
And right. And so I was like, I find myself even pulling out the RP sometimes before I even pull out my Black Magic.
Because ease of use.
Just
Yeah.
because
It's easier to use. Yeah. I mean, if it makes sense, for sure. Like I got the R7. That's what I'm on right now, the R7, and I use this a lot for like certain client work. You know what I'm saying? Because it's
right,
easier. The R5C, I got to rig it up because the battery dies so fast. And but
right.
I use that for like
Yo,
music videos though. But yeah, it's just like sometimes the R7 is just better.
right, right. And I think that's what I think, because I was one of them people that was just trying to buy what somebody said buy.
Yeah, that's how they get you.
Like when I started doing this, I only knew about photography. I didn't know anything about video work. So I'm looking at people. I think at the time, the GH4 and all that was real popular. Um, so I'm looking at these cameras and I'm like, yo, I gotta have this deal. This is what I
Mm.
need. And I ended up with an old Nikon D5200. But but hey, I used it. Like I literally shot client work with it and then started, slowly getting stuff. But like the Black Magic camera, I love it. It's a great camera. It's just it's inconvenient as can
Mm.
be. Like it's got to be rigged up.
Yeah.
It's just an inconvenient
Mm.
camera. Um, I probably, if I knew now what I knew then, I probably wouldn't have bought
Mm.
it. The R5 was something that I had looked at.
Yeah,
Um,
and
at the time, though, I was biased against Canon. I ain't gonna lie. At the time, I was biased. I didn't want any Canon, and I got a 5D sitting here that I
Mhm.
use for photography. But at the time, I didn't want a Canon. I was either gonna stick with Panasonic or I was gonna get Sony.
Okay.
And still ended up with the Black Magic, and now I'm probably going to end up switching all over to
Yeah,
Canon.
I
But
mean, you gotta work with what you like, but I will say that, I mean, I used to be on Sony, and then I switched to Canon, and I never had the urge to switch back. I mean,
right,
at Cinegear, I did try one of I think it was the FX6 or something like that, um,
oh
and I
okay,
liked it. Um, but I mean, I would try and stick with Canon if I can, since I already have lenses and stuff. But it's nothing wrong with
right.
Sony. It's just like I could do everything I need to do on the Canon line. So
The Sony look is a little bit too digital for me.
mm.
Um, from what I see, I've tried the FX6, I've tried the FX3. Um, the images, they're really really sharp,
Mhm.
and really, really crisp. And I just don't
Yeah,
like
my
that
homie
look.
has the FX30 and he says it's super sharp. So he tries to unsharpen it or sharpen it down, you know. So yeah,
Right.
they are sharp for sure.
I think those would be good for like interviews or something like
Mhm.
that, where a really, really sharp image would be good. Um, so on this journey in filmmaking, what's been your biggest struggle?
I mean, the video, I mean, that we just talked about is titled one of my biggest struggles as a content creator. I mean, and that is creating
That is,
freely, you know what
yeah.
I'm saying? Um, I feel like that one currently is the biggest win. Just trying to not have or not overthink as much when I'm putting the content out.
Well, see, how do you do that as an artist, as a creator, to not overthink? Because we want to put out things that people
Yeah.
watch. Like that's we want that. But at the same time, when you dropping videos and one video does better than the
Yeah.
other, but you had more fun doing this video, but you realize you got to start doing, like I've heard a lot of people, and I'm not monetized, but I've heard a lot of people say they get burnt out on doing the
For sure. Which is
reviews.
why I haven't done one in a while. Yeah, I haven't done one in a minute. Hmm.
Right. And so, but that you got to do those, people like those kinds of videos. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? So it's like, how do you get out of the mind state of, I want to create freely, but at the same time, Canon just sent me this whatever,
Hmm.
and I've got to review this. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
it's how do you get to the point of creating
I mean,
freely?
I think I'm still figuring that part out, but it's finding a balance because I think that, uh, especially when you're growing your channel, it's important to put out videos that people are searching for so that you can grow. And in the midst of that, also creating content that you like and really mixing them together. So
Right.
if you do a review, you can do it in a way that's more like fun rather than corporate or like just so to the book. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's something that I would try to do. So normally when I do reviews, I mean, I kind of have a template normally where it's like I talk about the product, show it off, and then go test it. Uh, but the
Hmm.
testing it part is fun though, because you can get creative
Right.
and kind of
Yeah.
just, if it's a light or something, you can do some creative setups using the light. Uh,
Hmm.
so I try to incorporate that rather than just talk about it and show you like in the room or in the studio or whatever. Uh, so yeah, I think it's just finding a balance um, of when you're growing, at least finding that balance of putting the con or creating videos that you know are going to get the views and bring new viewers to the channel, and also just having fun with it. Um, if you can find
Right.
that balance, I think it'll be good for the growth aspect.
Yeah. And I think that's one of my struggles is that when I started YouTube, it was really just a place for me to put my work that I could send clients
Mhm.
to. Just the easy place for them to go see what I could do. Then at the beginning of this year, I just happened to look up. I said, okay, I've got a few subscribers. Maybe I can actually do this. And the ups and downs, man, just get me. Like I'll put out a video and it'll do pretty well. The very next day, put out another video and two people
Yeah,
watch it. And it's like, you know what I'm saying? And it's like that that up and down for me just it burns me out because trying to please the algorithm gods,
yeah,
is rough. I do the videos I've done where I have reviewed a camera tend to do better,
mhm,
but those weren't sponsored. Those were just me getting a camera and then just
I mean,
giving my thoughts on it. But I don't want to. That's not what I wanted the channel to
Exactly.
be, and you know what I'm saying. And so when I just do it, when I do a vlog or something else that was actually fun, and it gets 10, 15, or
It's
20
discouraging.
views,
Yeah, it's discouraging.
it's real discouraging. And like I did a video on the T3i a couple months ago, and that video is still getting views. And it's like, yo, but I don't want to. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to keep reviewing stuff.
Mhm.
Like I want to do little fun little vlogs, and me and my fiance go places and we just vlog it and all that. But people don't watch that.
Yeah.
They watch the reviews.
Yeah, it's because like that's the phase of the grind at the time. Like you can reach a certain point. Like for YC, for example, since we're talking about him, like his better videos are gonna be the ones that are talking about gear and stuff like that. But he's reached a point
Right,
where he can do a random vlog or something like that, and people are gonna watch it. It's still not gonna get as much views as the other stuff, but
right,
he has that.
right,
He's at that point though where he can create that content and still be satisfied with the viewership. You know what I'm saying? And I think
right.
that's the goal to get to YouTube wise, where people are gonna watch it because they like you. You know what I'm saying? So you got to get to that point
That's
though. Yeah,
right, right. And I think that's what it is. The people gotta like who
hundred
you are.
percent.
You know what I'm saying? And you know they'll watch it. Like, and it's funny you brought that up because I remember he did a test. He was testing out a streaming setup, and that little test, he wasn't saying nothing. He was just testing out his setup, and it got like I think 6,000 or 7,000
Yeah,
views or
he's at
something
that
crazy.
point where people like
You
him,
know?
as a person. And I mean,
Right.
I want to stream too. I did a couple streams. I play Fortnite sometimes with the homies, so I was streaming that.
Okay.
But it's like that's the thing. I'm trying to stream that like on Twitch though, where it's like I
Uh-huh.
don't really get views over there, and I could stream it on YouTube and get decent views. But that's like I don't think people want to see that as far as the audience that I built on YouTube. Like maybe, but yeah, I'm trying to build like two separate or on two platforms, and then eventually try and
Right.
like combine it if possible. But yeah, that's the struggle I'm dealing with right now, though.
Well, on YouTube, let me tell you, and this might be just me, but I think the reason why I watch your channel is for one, the reviews for one are fun. Like I'm not looking at somebody who's just gonna sit at his desk and tell me about this camera. I can read that on the
Mm,
website. You know what I'm saying? I can read the specs and all that stuff. I need to see how
yeah,
it works in some real world situations. Like I need if you tell me it's good in low light,
yeah,
show
facts.
me. You know
Mm,
what I'm saying? Show me that. Go somewhere and where it's dark and use it and show me
mhm,
that. And I think people like yourself and YC and a lot of other people, I think that's why people
mhm.
watch because we are gonna get that real world. Because there's people like me that was out there that was trying to find
Yeah,
gear. You know what should I
mhm,
get? And I don't want to hear a corporate script about
mhm,
this camera. I need to know how it works. Like if it's a $5,000 camera, fine, that's fine. But tell me how it
mhm.
works. Show me how it
Yeah,
works.
for sure.
If it's got some drawbacks, I need what are they?
Mhm,
And so I think I don't man I do not know how I think I originally saw your video. I think it was a music video,
that was the first
actually.
video you seen.
I think so. I think it
Yeah,
was a
okay.
music video. Um, and then once you start watching the content, oh, he shoots his videos. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
It's like, okay, that's what's
Mhm,
up. But the 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 chill attitude, the just down to earth. There's no
Mm.
fluff. You ain't got a 20-second flashy intro before each
Let's get straight
video.
to it. Yeah,
You know what
yeah.
I'm saying?
Mm.
Right. It's just straight to it. And for me, that's what I need. Like, yo,
Mhm.
that's what I need to see. I was doing the YouTube stuff in the beginning. Like I had an intro that was like 35
Oh yeah,
seconds.
that's too
Me
long.
trying trying to look cool and you got my camera in my hand, walking down the side. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? And when I started looking at my analytics, I'm like, man, people ain't watching past
Yeah,
the
they
intro.
clicking off instantly. It's
Right.
like, it's like you got about 5 to 8 seconds realistically to catch like a new person attention in the video.
That's
Like
it.
unless they're coming
That's
from
it.
to watch like a review or something, then they might stick around. But other
Right.
than that, it's like if you're not interested in that first like 10 seconds, you already lost them. You know what I'm saying? So,
You click
mm,
off. And I that that was something I had to learn definitely.
mm,
Um so
yeah.
Vegas. Vegas seems like it would be a crowded field there. Um do you find it hard to find clients, or do you have a specific way that you go about finding your
Most of my
clients?
clients come from Instagram, um, so I don't
Okay.
have to search for them now. I just get hit up off Instagram. But I think like even if it is crowded, I wouldn't know it too much because I think that the client is picking who they like. So not to
Right.
like toot my own horn like that, but it's like if they didn't like my work, they wouldn't hit me up when there's
Right. The work is
yeah, when
great.
there's plenty
Right.
other
Yeah.
options. So I mean obviously I feel like if it wasn't so many people, then obviously I would get booked more. But I'm booked at a steady pace to where yeah, it's fine. And with Vegas being an attraction with like the strip, it helps.
Right.
But that's a gift and a curse though, because everybody who visits here wants to shoot on the strip, and that's like that
Mm-hmm.
gets played out for me. Uh, like, cause I don't
Right.
like going down there, but yeah, that's an attraction for people. So they come out here, want to shoot a music video, find me on Instagram, and then we end up, shooting it. But those aren't my favorite videos shooting on the strip. But
I
you
got
got to
you.
do it for the money sometimes. So yeah,
Right. How long did it take you before you started building up a steady client base?
mm, I don't have like an exact time frame, but I would say like maybe over the span of a year to 2 years.
Oh, that's not
Yeah,
bad. Okay.
but Instagram like hashtags is everything really, because when people are
Right.
coming to a new city and looking for a videographer, they're going to search up Las Vegas and whatever it is. So Las Vegas videographer, Las Vegas photographer, and as long as
Right.
you tag your posts, and then it helps if you have like a good following to where they like your content and comment, because I think it pushes you higher in the algorithm
Right. Right.
when they're searching for it. So if you can do that, then it works out.
I don't know why Instagram is one place where I forget to post. It's I don't know why. I can't remember when I drop stuff. I try to tell myself, okay, go to Instagram, do that. Hashtag Birmingham videographer. You
Mhm.
know what I'm saying? And I forget Instagram, and
That's like my main
it's
used platform. I mean, I don't post as much as I should have anyway, though. But um, yeah, I try. I mean, if I'm gonna post anything, it's gonna be on Instagram. So
when did you get started? When did you get started? What year did you really get started doing this?
um, yeah. Well, I've been filming. I want to say for like 7 years around there.
Let's put it this way. What was the first camera you
Oh,
had you was
the
filming with?
GH4.
Okay, there
Yeah,
you go. All right. So that tells you about when you started. Okay.
GH4. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I think I got that because at the time that's what YC was using, Panasonic. And so yeah, I
Right.
ended up getting that one. But it's I mean, they definitely improved from when I had the Panasonic. It was good at the time.
Well, I still have a GH4 that I use for B-roll a
Mhm.
lot of times.
Hey,
I still
if
got
it
the
work,
thing.
it work,
And right. So and I think so I got started a lot later. I didn't really get started doing actual video work for real till like 2018.
Mhm.
So I had an Instagram account, but really wasn't using. I would just post random pictures there, here and
Mhm.
there. So I think that's one reason why I'm not as active on it, or I forget about it because I don't, back then I think Instagram was what was popping. Like that's what everybody,
Mhm.
whatever Instagram and Twitter. And with me coming into the game late, I just plus I'm older.
Mhm.
I'm older than a lot of cats. Like I'm 46 years old. So it's like I got into this. I already felt like the old
Yeah.
dude. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody else was so young that I was watching. So I'm like, man, can I even do it? Like even when I would walk on sets,
Mhm.
I'm looking at people, everybody in their 30s. Like I'm the old cat.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Walking, and it's and it's like
Yeah, and shit,
it's
time ain't
like
slowing down either. It's still going. So
it's rolling, and so I'm still trying to navigate the Instagram
mhm.
thing, TikTok. You know, that's a whole different thing.
Mhm.
But because I'm I guess naturally a photographer is where I started all of this. Um, I post a lot on Vero. And one thing about photography, man, is especially because I shoot a lot of film
Mhm.
photography now, and it slows me down
Mhm.
and allows me to think for a
Yeah.
minute. Because doing this video work, sometimes I have a tendency to move
Mhm.
fast.
Yeah, you gotta be more
And
intentional with film. I know that.
very, very much so. And it makes you slow down. Even having a cinema camera though
Yeah,
causes you to have to
yeah,
slow down. Because with this Black Magic camera, man, I'm telling you, there's no way you can't just pull it out your bag and start filming.
yeah.
Like you gotta rig it, you've gotta make sure the settings on it are correct. You have to make sure you didn't accidentally push certain
Mhm.
buttons. There's a man, they listen, and I tell everybody about this. There's a high frame rate button on this camera. If you press it, it'll automatically jump you into 60 frames or 120 frames a second. The problem with it is that the camera automatically slows the footage down,
Mhm.
but doesn't sync the audio with it.
Mhm.
So whatever you shoot and that button is pressed, it's gonna be slowed
Mhm.
down. And if you didn't want it slowed down, you screwed because because the audio isn't
Yeah.
synced. So I shot a whole music video one time with that button pushed and didn't realize it.
Was it ruined? It was just hard to match it up later.
It's real hard to match it up.
Mhm.
It'll stay once if you can catch it, it'll stay like that for a while, but as it goes, it gets out of sync again.
Mhm.
And so you either have to keep adjusting, or do like I did and call the artist and say, "Hey, we got to reshoot.
Damn.
we got to reshoot this, bro." Like it was. So I have to make, and when you press it, even when you cut the camera off and cut it back on, it's still pressed. So that's just one thing I have to tell myself to look
Mhm.
at whenever I cut the camera on to make sure I haven't pressed that button.
Yeah.
It's great. It's great if you want slow mo because you don't have to fool
Mhm.
with it in editing process. It's already slowed down. It's
Mhm.
great. But if you doing both, stuff like that, man. Sometimes I used to move a little bit too fast and I jacked up quite a bit of stuff.
Oh yeah. I mean, we all got
Fooling with
our
that
fair
button
share, but I'm sure.
before I realized what I was doing. You know what I'm
Yeah, I'm sure
saying?
you
And
don't
it
really
just
make that mistake now, though. Yeah.
Not now. No, because like I say, I had to learn to slow down with this
Hmm.
camera. I had to learn it's causing me to slow down. But in doing that, I think it's made me a better
Yeah, yeah, for
filmmaker.
sure.
And it's heavy. So most of the time it's on a tripod. So I got to focus on composition and stuff a
Hmm.
lot. And that's something that when I had my other cameras on a gimbal, I really didn't focus on because I'm always
Hmm.
moving. So I didn't focus so much on composition. And now I have
Yeah.
to because it's on a tray. It's too heavy to carry. So I keep it on a tripod.
Oh yeah. I mean, but those are things
But
we should be focusing on. You know what I'm saying? The composition, and I mean, we let the camera do what it can to help us out.
right.
But yeah, that's good though.
Composition and storytelling is what I focus
Yeah.
on now. Even with my pictures, whenever I take a picture, I try to have a
Hmm.
story for that picture. Like me and my fiance will go out and I'll have her taking some pictures and I'll give her a whole backstory on the picture.
Hmm.
And she'll be like, "What are you doing? What is all that for? We gotta have a story to this." You know what I'm saying? like, like we got it, because I want it to be intentional. I want the picture to say
Yeah.
something. So when somebody sees it, they'll come up with their own
Hmm.
story. And I think for us as filmmakers, even if it's just a vlog or something, we got to tell the story.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's getting lost now with a lot of people getting into this. Because like we were saying, every camera is good now, so their quality is dope. You know what I'm saying? They don't have a problem with quality anymore. So everything is in focus, everything is sharp, but ain't nobody telling no story.
Yeah, the story is what will stick with somebody after they finish watching or viewing the photo, for example. Um,
Right,
the emotion or the feeling they felt afterwards. So, yeah, that's
right.
important.
And I've seen a lot of your stuff on Instagram where even just your pictures,
Mhm.
you'll have a certain look or a position to make you think, what is he thinking about? Or what you
Mhm.
know what I'm saying? But you'll be staring at the picture like, yo, what's he looking
Yeah,
at?
yeah,
Or what's going through his head
yeah.
right now? You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? But that's what I like about it.
Mhm.
Because it's not something you can just click on and click off. It makes you wanna, see what's going
Yeah,
on.
that's good, man. I mean, that probably is a little more less intentional for me, as far as like the photos I'm in, if I'm like posing or something. But that mean it's a natural thing if that's what you see.
Hey, bro, you might naturally have it. You know what I'm saying? Now, for me, I look at everything and 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 it just I'll see what needs to be seen, or if it speaks something to
Mhm.
me. That's just the artist in me. I've always been like that. And like I say, I started taking pictures years and years ago of my
Mhm.
kids and just always just kind of came up with a little story for them on why I was posing them a certain way or why I had them doing certain things. It just made it easy.
Mhm.
So when I see other people in a certain pose or something, I can look at a picture of you and come up with a whole story about that picture. Like I can have a and have a and literally have a script to be able to shoot a short film about this
Which
picture.
that's a skill in itself. Yeah.
Right, right. And that's what I'm trying to bring that into my filmmaking. My problem is that if it doesn't look like what I got in my head, then a lot of times I won't put it out.
Yeah.
And it might look good. It may look fine, but it didn't quite look like what I was thinking. And it might not because of how some maybe the color grade isn't quite right or something like I hate color grade. I'll put that on record. I hate color
Mhm.
grading with a passion. I use Da Vinci
That's
now,
good.
and that works my nerves because there's so much involved in it. But it makes it easier at the same time. But it's just a whole lot involved.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't say I'm a pro with color grading, but I really just color grade to what looks good to me. You know what I'm saying? I try not to follow like, I mean, there's certain rules I might stick to, but if it looks good to
Right.
me, then it's good. You know what I'm saying?
But I think recently you did a video and you were showing kind of how you did it, and you were using the
Yeah,
scopes.
so I would get a
And
lot of people asking me about color grading, which to me it's like I don't have like a special thing I do. So
right,
that's why I
right.
made that video showing how I do it. And it's like I don't think it's a
Right.
technical way. I just think whatever looks
It
good, and then I put it out.
I've watched a lot of videos that are really technical on color grading. And it kind of watching. I think I watched too many of those videos because then I'll go back to my footage and I'll
Yeah.
hate it because I didn't grade it the way this professional colorist did it. And like some of these guys don't look at the image too much at all. It's all the
Mhm.
scopes, and then they'll glance at the image, then they'll go back to the scopes. And I use scopes, but sometimes I want my blacks crushed a little bit
Yeah,
more.
and that's personal preference. Like,
Right. You know
yeah,
what
they
I'm saying?
can't. Nobody can tell you that you're wrong if that's the look you was going for. You know what I'm saying?
That's the mindset I have to get into. Like I'm not wrong. And then when you drop the video, you'll get somebody
Oh,
in your
for sure.
comments, man, you crushed your blacks. You didn't do that right.
Yeah, sometimes it's an artistic look you try to go for it. So, um,
It's
yeah, I mean, they can't say you're wrong if that's what you were going for. But if
right,
it
right.
wasn't, then you might take that into consideration so you could fix it. But
So real quick, comments. When you get certain comments like that in your videos, does it affect you?
I've been blessed enough to not really receive too many negative comments.
Okay.
Um,
Okay. That's a
yeah,
blessing.
but I know like if I did constantly, then I would start to like I would overthink it, and I think that will work against me as far as trying to create freely, for example, because I'd always be thinking in my
Right.
head like they don't like this, or you know what I'm saying. But
Right. Right.
I feel like if it was like every, let's just say every 50 comments, I have one negative one, I would be able to like brush that
Mhm.
one off. Um,
Okay, I got
so yeah, I mean, if it's criticism, it's fine. But if it's just pure hate, I would probably delete it because it's like I don't need the energy over here anyway. You know what I'm saying?
right.
But if it's criticism, it's
Right.
fair
Right.
game. You know what I'm saying? But you
Right.
can kind of tell.
I've gotten a few of
Mhm.
both. Um one guy, one of my recent videos, matter of fact, he hated the background music.
Was it too loud?
He told me well, no, he told me that he didn't come to listen to music. He came to listen to what I was talking about. I need to get rid of the music.
Okay.
And I was like, wow, okay. So, but the next video I didn't put any background music with it, and I didn't
Yeah.
like it. It was like
But like,
it didn't
yeah,
feel
like
right.
if it wasn't distracting to the video, then that's just his opinion. Like you got to do what you like at that point. But I could understand if it was like
I don't
overpowering your
feel
vocals and we can't hear you. But if it was just in the background and
right.
he just don't like background music, it's like, oh well, go watch somebody else then.
See, I'm trying to listen because see, I'm still trying to get to that mode where y'all at of being monetized
Mm.
and get good views
Yeah,
and
it's
all
tough.
of that. So I'm trying to listen to these people. Okay, he took the time to watch the video, so now maybe I need to listen to what he's
Mm.
saying. But the next video that I dropped where there wasn't no
Yeah, I
music,
always have background
didn't a
music.
whole lot of
Yeah, no,
people
I
watch.
always have background music. Like especially if I'm talking like in this setting, I'm gonna have some music on in the background. It'd be low, but it's always there
Right.
though.
Yeah, I'm trying to get to where I'm making what I feel is
Yeah,
good and not trying to follow the YouTube
yeah.
rules. All the stuff they tell you got to do for the algorithm and all that
Mhm.
stuff. Like I can't. It's hard for me to make longer videos. like 15-minute video. I can't make a
Yeah,
video
it's
that long.
tough
I don't.
because I cut out a lot of things on my videos. So get into, I mean, I feel like on average my videos would be like 6 to 8 minutes. So
That's
like
it.
get into 15 is crazy. Like I would have to, like if it's a vlog, I would have to be vlogging over the span of like a week. And then once I put all that together, it'd probably be like 15 minutes. But at
Right.
that point,
Right.
like I don't have a lot of stuff going on in the span of 1 week normally. But so it would be a few weeks. And then at that time, it's like, all right, I'm taking too long to put a video out. So let me just chop this up, put it out. So yeah, it's tough, like 15 minutes. But it's also like that goes into not being so strict with what you put in your videos. Cause like in the video I put out today, there was a interaction with this marketing lady from GBM, which was like,
Yeah.
yeah, that was
Sorry.
like a 2.5, maybe almost 3 minute interaction, which I ain't really chop up too much, but I feel like it was good information as far as how I was talking to her. We're talking about, potentially working.
Right.
So yeah, sometimes leaving that content in there helps with the video length as well. But yeah.
Yeah, I think especially with that type of video, I think that was cool to leave in there. I mean, we got to see, we got to see some gear, and then like you said, we got to see kind of a potential deal. So when there's a later video where you reviewing a GVM
Mhm.
product, we can go back and say, oh, okay, he made that deal when
Yeah,
he
facts.
was there. So
It's crazy because
you
I've
know what I'm
worked with
saying?
GVM before too. I mean, I ain't talked to her, but yeah, they've worked with me before. I don't know how they have their marketing set up. Like, I don't know if I'm already in their system to hit up or yeah, I
Right.
don't know. But I just ended up talking to her while I was there. So I'm like, all right,
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Well, listen, man, we ain't gonna drag this out.
sure.
I appreciate you coming
Appreciate you
on.
having me.
Um, definitely, man, definitely enjoy your
Thank you. Thank
content
you.
on YouTube and
Mhm.
Instagram. I'm a we yeah. I'm a supporter, man. I'm when you I got that bell hit. So normally when you drop one, I'm
Yeah,
gonna
I
be
always see you.
plus
I always see you in the comments.
I'm on YouTube. YouTube is if I'm on my computer, it's pulled up in a tab
Yeah,
still, or it's on my phone. So I get the notifications. I just believe in
that's
support,
good.
man. I know what it takes, what people put into this
Hmm.
stuff. The hours to put into a 6 minute
Yeah.
video. You know, you
Yeah,
know what I'm
that ass.
saying? So I, I understand. So I'm gonna make sure I support people. I can't ask for it if I
I
don't get it.
appreciate that. Yeah,
But
you one of the
let
people.
the people know where to find you
Okay.
at, man.
Well, on Instagram is just Mills, so it's JUSTMIELZ. And then on YouTube, if you just search up Mills, the only channel that pops up. Those are my two main platforms. I just started streaming on Twitch, and that's just Mills as well. Um, so yeah, I'm trying to build a little following over there too. Yeah, so that's where I'm at.
You need to stream one to
I
YouTube,
know,
man, so we can
I
check it
know.
out.
I'm a stream to YouTube. It's just my thing is if I stream to YouTube, I feel like I can't game. Like on Twitch, what I do is I play games with the homies. I feel like
Okay.
my audience like not going to expect me to go live and start playing Fortnite. You know what I'm saying? So I got to figure out what I'm gonna talk about if I'm gonna go live on YouTube.
I think they would, bro. Like I said, I think they would for real. It's you might not, get 8,000 views like YC or something, but I think people would just again the
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
personality.
for sure.
Y- You know what I'm saying? I think people would check it out, especially those of us because I thought about Twitch myself. My fiance's nephew, who's 16
Mhm.
years old, he making
Oh
money
yeah,
from it,
that's the goal.
and I'm like, yo, what?
Yeah, that's the goal. Make that money.
So it's yeah, man. Go ahead and hook us up, man. Let us
I
check it
might do
out
a
one day,
stream,
man.
man, and see how it goes. I just know like that, like mixed in with the other content, it don't really go with it. But I'm maybe I won't like save it as a video afterwards. Maybe just for a test, I'll go live, see how it goes.
I
If I
got you.
could, I mean, if I could start a
Okay.
stream, maybe on the topic, like have a topic to discuss, and then go into gaming afterwards, I feel like I would feel more comfortable doing that rather than just going live straight to games. But yeah,
Right.
if I
I
get a
got you.
topic
I
I could
got you.
talk about, you know, I'll probably do it.
But that's what's up, man. That's what's up. We look forward to it, brother.
Appreciate
We're gonna be looking for that video. I'm gonna make sure I let everybody know we
it for
looking for
sure.
that gaming video. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, I appreciate you coming. Look, guys, make sure you go check out his channel. Make sure y'all check him out on Instagram and on YouTube. I'm telling you, he's dope. You won't go wrong. Listen, we all struggling, trying to do this, trying to come up. So we got to support each other. All right.
sure.
So look, I'm gonna catch y'all in the next video, man. Y'all hit me up, do whatever. If you want to be a guest, make sure you hit me up. I'll have my contact information in the description. And let's talk, man. Let's talk some art and let's talk some creative stuff. All right. Y'all be easy. Peace.